Deep in the heart of the Jordanian desert, hidden within a labyrinth of towering sandstone canyons, lies a secret that defies the conventional history of human civilization. Most of the world's great ancient cities, Rome, Athens, Giza, were built stone by stone, rising from the ground toward the heavens. But Petra is different. It wasn't built, it was sculpted. It is a massive, thriving metropolis carved directly into the living rock of the mountainside. No scaffolding, no room for error, and no second chances. This is not just a collection of ruins, it is a testament to a lost level of genius. For nearly 1,000 years, this rose-red enigma vanished from every map in the Western world, protected by a silent desert and a people who kept its location a secret under the threat of death. Today, as we peel back the layers of dust and myth, we find ourselves facing a disturbing question. How did a nomadic tribe develop the precision to carve a city that modern engineering still struggles to fully explain? To find the answer, we must look beyond the evident ruins and venture into the shadows of the CQ. The story of Petra's rediscovery is as dramatic as the city itself. In 1812, a Swiss explorer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt heard rumors of a legendary lost city hidden deep within the mountains of Wadi Musa. But there was a problem. The local tribes were fiercely protective of the site. To enter, Burckhardt had to disguise himself as a Muslim scholar, practicing his Arabic, and even performing rituals to prove his identity. He risked his life for a glimpse of the impossible. As he moved through the sick, a mile-long narrow crack in the earth, the shadows suddenly gave way to a sight that stopped his breath. Al-Khazneh, the treasury. Standing over 40 meters tall, the treasury is a masterpiece of symmetry and mathematical perfection. But it is here that the mystery begins. Archaeologists discovered that the Nabateans didn't use cranes or pulley systems to lift stones. Instead, they carved from the top down. Imagine the sheer audacity of such a plan. Sculptors had to hang from the cliffs, chipping away at the sandstone, knowing that one wrong strike of the chisel would scar the facade forever. There was no way to hide a mistake. The precision of the columns, the intricate statues of Greek and Egyptian gods, and the perfect alignment of the interior chambers suggest a deep understanding of geometry that we didn't think existed in the desert 2,000 years ago. But why here? Why build a capital in one of the harshest, most inhospitable environments on Earth? The answer lies in the Nabateans' mastery of the invisible. In a land where it might not rain for a year, they became the masters of water. While other civilizations perished in the heat, the 30,000 citizens of Petra lived in an artificial oasis. Recent excavations using satellite imagery and ground-penetrating radar have revealed a secret infrastructure that is arguably more impressive than the stone facades. The Nabateans engineered a sophisticated network of ceramic pipes, dams, and underground cisterns. They didn't just wait for rain. They captured every single drop from miles around. When the rare, violent flash floods hit the canyons, instead of being destroyed, Petra used them. They diverted the torrents into massive reservoirs, creating a pressurized water system that fueled flowing fountains, public baths, and even a massive Olympic-sized swimming pool in the middle of the desert. This was a supreme display of hydraulic engineering that suggests a level of scientific knowledge centuries ahead of its time. As we venture deeper into the city, past the great temple and toward the towering monastery, or Ad-Dair, the mystery takes a celestial turn. The Nabateans were not just engineers, they were stargazers. Many of Petra's most important structures are perfectly aligned with the sun during the solstices and equinoxes. On the winter solstice, the light of the setting sun illuminates the sacred podium inside the monastery with eerie precision. Was this city a giant astronomical clock? Were they communicating with the heavens? At its peak, Petra was the Wall Street of the ancient world. It sat at the perfect crossroads of the Silk Road and the incense routes. Gold, spices, and silk flowed through these canyons, making the Nabateans some of the wealthiest people on Earth. They were a bridge between the East and the West, blending Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and Mesopotamian styles into a unique architectural language. But then, the silence returned. By the 4th century, the Roman Empire's influence was fading, and trade routes began to shift toward the sea. In the year 363, a massive earthquake shattered the city's sophisticated water systems and brought many of its structures down. The Nabateans, once the masters of the desert, began to leave. By the time of the Crusades, Petra was a ghost city, eventually disappearing from the world's memory, known only to the local Bedouins who lived in its caves. What is most haunting about Petra is not what we see, but what we don't. Experts believe that despite decades of excavation, we have only uncovered about 15% of the city. 85% of Petra, its houses, its markets, its records, is still buried under the shifting sands and collapsed mountains. We are looking at a fragment of a civilization that may have possessed secrets we are only now beginning to rediscover. Who were the Nabateans, really? Were they simply lucky merchants? Or did they hold a forgotten key to mastering the natural world? As we stand in the shadows of the high place of sacrifice, looking out over the red peaks of Jordan, it becomes clear that Petra is not a tomb. It is a challenge. It challenges us to reconsider what ancient humans were capable of and reminds us that some of history's greatest achievements can be hidden in plain sight, waiting for us to look beyond the evident. The rose-red city of Petra serves as a powerful reminder that our ancestors were far more sophisticated than we often give them credit for. Their story wasn't just written in books, but etched into the very bones of the earth. A message left for those willing to look closer. If you are fascinated by the mysteries of our past and the secrets that history tried to hide, join us on this journey. Subscribe to Beyond the Evident and hit the notification bell. Together, we will continue to explore the enigmas of our world and uncover the truths that lie just beneath the surface.